This woman I married, the love of my life, Catherine Ross, married Catherine Ross. Been going with Catherine since 1978.
The mustache and voice of Sam Elliott. For many years, he has been the face of silent power and Western grit. Growing up, followers watched him ride across sandy plains and deliver harsh realities to. Behind the icy exterior, that deep, serene voice. Things with a cowboy motif haven't always been. He has encountered fake public outrage, reports of death, and recently, something even more intimate disclosure, not to a co-star or a production company, but to his admirers, and many others were moved to tears by what he said. Come along as we explore Sam Elliott's personal life and all of its aspects, including, as well as reveal the poignant message he left: a difficult start and a dream that refused to leave. Sam Elliott's birthdate: September 9, 1944, in Sacramento, California. Glennie, his mother, used to be a state. After winning a diving championship, she became a educator and instructor of physical training. Henry Nelson Elliott, his father, was employed as a specialist in predator control. Both of originally from El Paso, Texas, his parents. In fact, one of Sam's forefathers was a during the Battle of San Into, the surgeon. At the age of 13, Sam's family relocated to. He spent his teenage years in Portland, Oregon. Years there and completed their education at David Douglas High School in 1962. He then enrolled in college at. He attempted the University of Oregon, studying psychology and English, but left. Sam returned after just 2 terms to Portland and enrolled at Clark College in. Things are located in Vancouver, Washington. Started to change. He performed Big Jewel in his stage adaptation of Guys and Dolls. Acting was so noticeable that the local. According to the article, he should be a professional actor. Following the completion of his. He returned to the 2-year program once more. Attend Oregon University, but when his dad died after suffering a heart attack. At that point, Sam permanently left college. Transformed his life. At the age of 18, he. Years after losing his father, it was really painful. Sam revealed, "My father passed away believing I was a complete moron for aspiring to be an actor. Even while it hurt, it helped him go forward. That inspired me," said Sam. "My dad was a sensible and kind man, yet he came from another period," he persisted. Even after his father informed him about his dream. "You have a snowball's chance with him. Hell of pursuing a Hollywood career." Sam continued to believe despite was insufficient on his own, he still needed to labor. Difficult to live, which required picking. Holding a script and then raising a shovel. Using grit and cement to construct dreams. At first, living in Los Angeles wasn't simple. Sam Elliott didn't achieve fame. He labored overnight to pay his bills. Construction, and ironically, that position helped him one day receive his big break. While assisting a relative with everything changed with the cement job. An aide happened to be a friend director, and he asked Sam to come see him on a set, which is how Sam received his first a taste of my big break in the film industry. Soon later, Sam made a joke about pouring cement. Sam's first movie credit appeared in Butch Cassidy's 1969 blockbuster and the He was a card player, Sundance Kid. Wasn't very important, in fact, it was hardly. I had one line, Sam added, referring to any involvement. I was nothing more when it was off camera. More to him than a shadow on a wall, yet. A tiny portion represented everything he was. Finally on set, he was able to observe. Robert Redford claimed that his work was enjoyable. From then, Sam began grinning. Gaining additional opportunities, he showed up in Judd for the Defense and similar programs. In the early 1970s, Gunsmoke was also. During a couple episodes of Lancer, he portrayed Renslow before landing a part in. He wasn't in the lead on Mission Impossible. However, he was on a significant program. For a long time before the beer arrived. In 1972, he portrayed the cowboy in ads. The Post is advertised by Walker in Falstaff beer. Matched his voice and appearance flawlessly. His entire mood, as if the section was. Even if it was written for him, actual stardom was down the road a bit, but when it come, the breakthroughs were worth the wait. And disappointments for Sam Elliott's major. A breakthrough was made. He played Charles Wood in the 1975 film I Will Fight No More Forever is a television movie. The drama concerning Chief Joseph was strong. Sam, a member of the Nez Perce tribe, played a major position demonstrating power and depth as. It wasn't only about his cowboy as an actor. Image, more people began to notice his genuine skill, and he portrayed Rick in 1976. Carlson in the film Lifeguard, which turned into a. He served as a lifeguard in the tranquil hit Southern California, who began to. His life was a very human one. Variety magazine didn't adore the story. Movie calling it disappointing, but they saw Sam they. Elliott has some beefcake value, he remarked. Portrays a persona that is primarily a passive reactor. Despite the fact that they totally commend him, the movie was helpful to Sam. Proceed, he was no longer only a face behind the scenes, not all roles. Was a victory, even if he was cast in 1974 as. In a TV pilot, Ael Knievel sounded thrilling, particularly considering that El Naval was a well-known figure at the time the show's concept. Was the character of Wild Sam going to compete? Accompanied by a female stunt rider in 2. The pilot did not enter the motorbike contest. CBS hasn't yet made it a complete. Years later, someone informed Sam of the. On YouTube, the pilot said, "F me. Listen, there are stinkers everywhere. And we survive if we're lucky." Sam is the type of man who doesn't act as though all of his roles were flawless. He moves on after laughing about it, but despite the fluctuations, there was. Sam has a quality that viewers seldom ceased admiring, that serene voice. Strength, the sense that he intended each and every. He claimed to have something genuine and thing was more important than any one role. Constructing a solid career in the late. In the 1970s and the early 1980s, Sam Elliott started to increase your profile as a character actor. Among his first significant roles was in the 1977 miniseries Aspen, he portrayed. A few years later, Tom Keating appeared in Murder. He played Farrah's opposite in Texas in 1981. Catherine Ross and Fawcett, the woman who would eventually wed him, and he also appeared alongside Cheryl Ladd in the film Death In 1985 and 1979, Elliott worked in California in The Sacketts with Tom Selleck, a miniseries inspired by Louis St. Their coupling was so well liked by fans that in 1982, they were cast together once more. Additionally, the Shadow Riders are based on a legend. These Western roles suited Elliott's story. His calm energy and voice look are flawless. Played a significant supporting part in Mask 1985. Appearing in Prancer and with Cher 1989, he displayed a more compassionate side as a strict, but viewers saw a loving father figure. To witness a different side of him, on the exterior yet warm on the inside. During this period, he also appeared in numerous TV series, including Felony, Hawaii 5 and Squad Gunsmoke Lancer. Did a number of TV films, including one of the major Buffalo Girls in 1995 was one of them, where he, in 1986, he played Wild Bill Hickok and took on the lead in the movie Gone to Texas. Regarding Sam Houston, Elliott performed in Houston as a courageous combatant and an intelligent political figure. The narrative went on to, through his tenure as governor, Houston's the Cherokee Nation and his time spent with contribution to Texas independence from Mexico. By 1989, Elliott had been in an action film. He performed at Roadhouse alongside Patrick C's friend and mentor, Wade Garrett. It was another job for a rough guy, but with Sam and his wife Catherine's heart in 1991. Ross co-starred in the Kaniger movie. It was an uncommon occurrence on a Louis L'Amour book project in which the screen was shared and their chemistry was adored by fans, yet we were just getting ready for Elliott. In the early 1990s, two of his most renowned film performances turning become legends in. Sam Elliott portrayed a brigadier general in 1993. In the historical war movie, John Buford. That same year, he also played at Gettysburg. In Tombstone, Virgil Earp is among the most renowned westerns of the day. His serene, your consistent performance was notable even among well-known figures such as Kurt Russell and The Big Lebowski then entered, followed by Val Kilmer. In 1998, there weren't many screens time in this movie, but he created a significant. He gave the stranger an effect. Cowboy-like character who tells the story. His soothing delivery and rich voice in the film made the part memorable, he maintained. Choosing prominent roles in 2002, he appeared in as Sergeant Major Basil, We Were Soldiers. Plumley, a valiant soldier with no nonsense, and he portrayed General Thaddeus Ross in 2003. In the high-budget superhero movie Hulk, even while Elliott wasn't always his character remained with those he offered strength, insight, and genuine feeling. He brought a presence to each part that inspired you to pay attention and keep in mind. He was unique because of that, but what would result in both new roles and, in 2005, a completely new generation of fans. A former cowboy model was portrayed by Sam Elliott. I'm grateful that you smoked the twist. The character later developed lung cancer after years of cigarette advertising. It was a significant role with a message that Elliott is the only person who could pull it off. He provided the voice of Ben the cow in the 2006 Barnyard, an animated film, was entertaining alteration, but that distinctive voice made even a cartoon cow seem strong and knowledgeable. In 2007, Elliott then leaped into the comic book film universe with Ghost. In the same scene, Ryder plays Carter Slade. He appeared in The Golden Compass that year as well. Like the courageous explorer Lee Scoresby, who Nicole was among the large cast of the movie. Daniel Craig and Christopher Lee Kidman. He appeared briefly but stylishly in Up in the Air as the principal pilot of the United States Airlines have a brief function, but enduring admirers of the comedy series Parks and Recreation will keep his visitor in mind. Portrayal of Ron Dunn, the calm. He is a naturalized version of Ron Swanson. Only made a few appearances, but once more Elliott made his impact and continued to work steadily using Marmaduke's voice work. 2010 and a position coaching football in. On draft day 2014, he came back in a. Lily was the object of Elliott's big manner behavior. Grandma and Tomlin were featured in the romanticism he was, and I'll see you in my dreams. In the same year, Digging for Fire. The Critics' Choice Television Award went to him. Best Guest Performer Award in a drama series in recognition of his role in Justified. And that marked the start of a new wave of achievement, honors, and the speaking voice. Sam Elliott started to get even more affection from both admirers and detractors, he joining The Ranch, a Netflix series. Collaborating with Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson's son was able to enter the residences of younger viewers and reminded everyone of his exceptional abilities. Contributed to Grace and Frankie as well as voiced Butch and the Good from Pixar. Dinosaur, but the hero, 2017, was the one that truly pushed him back into the spotlight in. Elliott played a significant role in The Hero. An elderly Western celebrity whose prime was. The position behind him was really close to. Many critics and admirers felt it at home. Encapsulated all they admired about him. Elliott is flawless, according to the awards circuit. In this case, the hero captures everything. Everything you adore about him in one bundle. He made an appearance in The Man later that year. Who Was Dead? Hitler is as crazy as the title suggests, yet Sam took the game seriously and Strength as Usual, followed with one of his biggest movies. He portrayed Bobby Maine the Elder during his career. Bradley Cooper's character's sibling. His performance was strong and brimming with. Elliott's passion for this part earned him the Best National Board of Review Award. He was also nominated as a supporting actor for an award from the Screen Actors Guild and, at last, an Oscar discussing his first. Sam, an Academy Award nominee, stated, "I think of the thing that comes to mind. It could be about effing time, fans." Agreed after a long period of time in the. He had gained the business at that point in 2022. Elliott played the lead in the prequel 1883. He played Shay Brennan in Yellowstone. A powerful, multifaceted individual who oversaw a team of tourists traversing hostile western regions. Because of his role, Sam won the show the award from the Screen Actors Guild for exceptional work by a guy performer. even after decades in a miniseries. Sam Elliott of Hollywood wasn't finished creating an effect, but behind the composed exterior and the man with the cowboy voice had been through many things, including times when the casting was never widely seen by the public. Couch the truth with an open mind. Throughout the 1980s, Sam Elliott revealed something that few male performers discussed regarding his personal encounters with the. In an interview with Casting Couch in 1980, he told the Dayton Daily News, The Couch stories about the casting are unbelievable. I could tell you that all of the clichés are authentic. Elliott disclosed that he had been. Both men and women were contacted in the business, and each time he rotated them down, it's probably caused me pain, he said. But I have to live with them. My conscience is clear even of such guilt. Even if I'm still not setting the words, "The World on Fire," revealed much about the true nature of Sam Elliott. Someone who upheld his principles even years later, when it cost him anything. The start of the Me Too movement. Elliott gave it his full backing in an Variety interview in which he referred to it as the greatest development in Hollywood. He acknowledged for a long time that things in Hollywood frequently went both ways. Some folks went to any lengths to endure, but what devastated him was most were the young, defenseless individuals who arrived in Hollywood with aspirations, only to be. The system ate up Sam Elliott's. His courage and honesty have always set him apart. Separated and in the midst of a cacophonous, shifting industry, he remained authentic at all. Step-by-step discussion of which while numerous performers have adjusted to the fast-paced technological and celebrity world, Sam has chosen to go in a different direction. Of remaining rooted is shown in one. He made a significant decision, but why Sam Elliott? Avoid social media in the modern. Most stars in the world are active on social media. Sharing selfies, updates, and times behind the scenes with fans, but Twitter is not used by Sam Elliott. He doesn't actually have an Instagram account. Even use email during a conversation with. According to Elliott, the magazine AARP. People are looking everywhere you look. It's similar to their hands at restaurants. You're seated in an area of jack-o'-lanterns because the faces of everyone is illuminated by their phone, yet no one's connecting with one another, which is why he decides to avoid him because he likes real relationships. He prefers in-person conversations. Not using a screen hasn't harmed his. Despite his fame, he is still well known. However, what people typically observe initially isn't his voice, is his face. Before anything else, my voice is recognized. Otherwise, he claimed to have known since childhood that his voice was unique. He began by a tenor in church choirs before transitioning to baritone before evolving into a deep bass. At that moment, I realized that my voice would be that deep, serene voice is now an instrument. His signature, and when he wishes to stay away from. He's got a trick now. If I want to pay attention, I just keep my mouth shut to hide. Joked, but it's not just that voice. Item that people discuss, people also discuss. Regarding his marriage to his wife. That has endured for many years. A tale of love that began with a quiet In 1969, Sam Elliott received a minor part in the. He only appeared as a background extra in a bar scene, but something significant. He observed an actress on that set. For the first time, Catherine Ross was already well known at the time for Sam's part in The Graduate. I didn't dare try to talk to her. He then told her that she was the front runner. I was a glorified extra, lady. About 10 years later, destiny brought them together. Once more, they starred together in the 1978 movie The Legacy, which is when, at last, they conversed and became acquainted. Although at the moment, it wasn't easy. Ross remained wed to her fourth husband. Spouse, they divorced in 1979, and she married Sam in 1984, 5 years later. Elliott and he had a close relationship from the. Elliott actually nearly turned at the start. Minimized his part in Mask as he and Ross and his partner were on a honeymoon when the offer arrived. Over the years, their marriage has endured, which is uncommon in. At one point, Hollywood Edison revealed the secret. We have a long-standing partnership with shared sensibilities, yet we also operate at working together. You go above and beyond the STU. Don't ignore it. That is how. Ties between Sam and Catherine in the past. The anecdote demonstrates that true love requires work. It's more than just the enjoyable moments. About supporting one another during all of it, yet even with a lengthy career, a marriage, and a voice that people notice. Sam Elliott right away has consistently been loyal to himself. Money was not his objective. Instead, it was always about the labor-intensive films and doing it for the appropriate explanations.